Smart Phonics. Today we are going to discuss an important topic, blending and segmenting, and in the process we are going to come across blends and syllables. There is nothing new in this video. We are going to give a name to what we have already learned. Blending. Blend means to join together. In phonics, blending involves joining the sounds of the letters together to pronounce or read a word. Blending is therefore linked to reading, and blends are associated with blending. For example, when we see the word jam, we start by sounding out each individual sound, j, a, m. Then slowly blend those sounds together, j, a, m. We finally get the word jam. Segmenting. Segment means to split apart. In phonics, segmenting involves breaking a word into individual sounds to spell or write a word. So segmenting is linked to writing, and syllables are associated with segmenting. For example, when we hear the word jam, start by stretching out the word into its individual sound, jam. Then slowly stretch the word further, jam. So we finally get the individual sounds, jam, and that could be written. Now let us see the do's and don'ts about blends. Blend only real two-letter words. For example, is, an, so. Do not start by blending two letters, then three letters, and so on if they are not real words. The reason is because a g sounds the same in twig but not in tiger. Similarly, t sounds the same in tip but not in tiger. So it is not really necessary to learn the two-letter combinations first and then three-letter combinations. Instead, we could focus on learning tricky words or other rules of phonics in order to read better. There are certain consonant blends that could always be blended. For example, st, st, gr, gr, fl, fl. These are at the start of a word. Stop, grip, flag, int. These are at the end of a word. Stamp, went. But it is not really necessary to learn consonant blends separately because it already comes as part of phonics blending. For example, whether you learn st as a consonant blend or not, you would be able to blend using phonics. Stamp, flag, flag. Now let us see the difference between blends and digraphs or quadgraphs. In a two-consonant blend, the individual sound of the letters are maintained, whereas in a digraph, the individual sound of the letters are not maintained. Here, the individual sound of both letters are heard. For example, in must, st is a consonant blend. Two sounds, s and t, are heard when you say the word must. Whereas in a digraph, two letters together make only one sound. For example, rain. Here AI is a digraph, but only one sound, A, is heard. In a three-consonant blend, the individual sound of the letters are maintained, whereas in a trigraph, the individual sound of the letters are not maintained. Here, the individual sound of all three letters are heard. For example, strip, str is a consonant blend. The three sounds st, are heard when you say the word strip, strip. Whereas in a trigraph, the three letters together make only one sound. For example, chair. Here AIR is a trigraph. Only one sound, air, is heard. So the main difference between a blend and a digraph or trigraph is that the individual sounds are maintained in a blend, whereas here it is not maintained. Now let us see how to blend a word. Symbols like a dot, horizontal line or curved line under the letters are helpful in blending a word more easily. For a letter that makes one sound, put a dot under the letter. For example, cat, k, at. So you put a dot under each letter. Flop, fl, op. So you put a dot under each letter because each letter corresponds to one sound. Whereas for a digraph or trigraph or quadgraph, put a line joining the letters that make one sound. For example, ire. Here F makes one sound, so we have putting a dot, and the three letters make one sound together, so we put a line joining the three letters. Similarly, chat, cha, at, chat. Here these two letters represent one sound, so we put a line joining the two letters, and here we put a dot because it corresponds to one sound. For a split digraph, you could put a line under the two letters or put a curved line joining the two letters. For example, cube, k-u-b, cube. Here U and E makes one sound together, so we are putting a curved line joining these two letters. So here are some symbols we have used so far. A dot below the letter represents a single letter representing a single sound, and a horizontal line below the letters represents digraphs or split digraphs or trigraphs or quadgraphs. And a curved line joining the letters represents split digraph. A horizontal line above a letter represents long vowels, and a curved line above a letter represents short vowels. And we use slashes to indicate that it represents the sound of a letter. Now let us see the difference between a phoneme and a syllable. When we say a word, each distinct sound heard is a phoneme. For example, cat, k, at, we hear three distinct sounds, so there are three phonemes in the word cat. When we say a word, we naturally break the word down into little spoken chunks, and each chunk is called a syllable. So cat will have one syllable, teacher will have two syllables. A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound in a word. So the word magnet will have 6 phonemes, whereas a syllable is a unit of pronunciation that has one vowel sound. So the word magnet will have 2 syllables. A syllable could be further split down into phonemes. A phoneme is one distinct sound. For example, erupt. So this has 5 sounds: e, r, a, t. So 5 phonemes, 5 sounds. Whereas a syllable can be a cluster of sounds with at least one vowel sound. For example, erupt. So erupt. So this has 2 syllables. The first syllable has one sound, whereas the second syllable has 4 sounds. So a syllable could be a cluster of sounds and not necessarily one sound like a phoneme. Now let us see the types of syllables. We have 6 different types of syllables. We have already learnt all of these syllables. The only thing is that we do not know the names of the syllables. Closed syllable. A closed syllable is one in which a single vowel is followed by a consonant. For example, magnet. Here there is a vowel and it is followed by a consonant. So this syllable is a closed syllable and also this one is a closed syllable. An open syllable ends with a single vowel. So here direct, it has two syllables. The first syllable is open because it is ending with a single vowel, whereas the second syllable is a closed syllable because a single vowel E is followed by a consonant. So in the case of closed syllables, the vowels are short, and in the case of open syllables, the vowels are long. Magic silent E, vowel consonant E, split digraph are all one and the same. And this is a syllable in which two vowels are separated by a consonant, the second vowel being a silent E and makes the long sound of the first vowel. For example, relate. Here A and E are split digraphs and you could see the pattern vowel, consonant, E. And this E is a magic E because it changes the sound of the first vowel from short to long. Usually when a vowel is followed by a consonant, it becomes a closed vowel, so it will have a short vowel sound. But this magic E changes its short sound to a long sound, and so it is known as the magic E. So this syllable is called a magic silent E syllable or a vowel consonant E syllable or a split digraph syllable, and this vowel is called an open syllable because it ends with a single vowel. Vowel teams could be a digraph or a diphthong. Digraphs make a short or long vowel sound, whereas diphthongs make a new vowel sound. And this is a syllable in which two vowels make one sound. For example, rainbow, house, bread. Here the two vowels AI make one sound A, and here the two vowels OU make one sound OW, and here the two vowels EA makes one sound E. So here it makes a long sound, here it makes a new vowel sound, and here it makes a short sound. Next we have the R controlled syllables, and this is a syllable in which the vowels are followed by a single R, and R controls the vowel sound, therefore making a new vowel sound. For example, air, stare, G-R-D-E-N, garden. And the last one is the consonant plus LE syllable. A syllable ending with a consonant and then LE is the only syllable without a vowel sound because the E at the end is silent. For example, we have the word example. When you cut the word into syllables, it becomes example. Here you could note that this E is added so that a vowel is present in the last syllable. These are the points to remember. Blending means to join the letter sounds and segmenting means to fragment the words. Blends maintain the letter sounds, whereas digraphs, trigraphs and quadgraphs do not maintain the letter sounds and make only one sound together. Phonemes have one distinct sound, whereas syllables can have a cluster of sounds. Blends are linked to reading and syllables are linked to writing. And we also saw the 6 types of syllables. If you have learned something new from this video, please like, share and subscribe. Knowledge shared is knowledge multiplied. Thank you.